Hi, I'm Dr. Freeman from Freeman Chiropractic Wellness, and today I'd like to talk about lateral epicondylitis, more commonly referred to as tennis elbow. Before we jump into the content, I'd like to talk about a promotion that we're running for the month of December. If you happen to be in the Ithaca area and you're suffering from tennis elbow, neck pain, back pain, or a variety of other things that cause pain, we very well may be able to help. For the month of December, we're writing off our new patient exam fee. This leads to about $80 in savings off of your first visit. So if you're looking to give us a try, now is a great time. Now let's get back to the content. So tennis elbow. What is it? Who suffers from it? And what can we do to prevent it or treat it? Tennis elbow occurs due to an imbalance in muscles in the forearm. It actually has nothing to do with the elbow joint itself, even though that's where the pain typically occurs. And even though it's named for tennis, you actually don't need to play tennis to get tennis elbow. In fact, the majority of people who suffer from tennis elbow aren't tennis players. So why does it occur? There are many muscles in the forearm, but the muscles that we're interested in when we're talking about tennis elbow are those that connect to the common extensor tendon. This is a tendon on the lateral side of the elbow, and the muscles that connect here all have something in common. They all either extend the wrist or extend the fingers. Activities such as tennis that rely heavily on these muscles can result in a strong pull on this tendon. Now, this isn't necessarily an issue, but when there isn't an equal pull on the common flexor tendon, this imbalance can result in a sharp pain in the elbow, which can worsen if unaddressed, especially if the aggravating activity continues. Now, does this mean that tennis and similar activities that rely on the extensors more heavily than the flexors are bad for you? Of course not. What it means is we need to take special care to stretch the extensors and strengthen the flexors to maintain balance even when the aggravating activity is performed. Now let's talk about a few different ways we can do that. Wrist extension looks like this, and wrist flexion looks like this. If our extensors are overly tight, then we want to put our wrist into a flexed position in order to loosen it up. This can be done very simply using our opposite hand for assistance with a simple stretch that looks like this. This stretch can be performed for 45 seconds to a minute at a time, a few times per day, to help loosen up the wrist extensors. Another great option is a more dynamic stretch, using a method called pin and stretch. Again, we're going to use our offhand for assistance, but this time we're going to start with our wrist in full extension. We're going to take our offhand and apply pressure to the extensors, which are in the back of the forearm. With moderate pressure, you're going to shift your fingers slightly toward the elbow and then bring your wrist and fingers into full flexion. Release pressure, reset your wrist back into extension, and repeat this process 10 times, once per day. With the extensors loosening up, the next step is to strengthen our neglected flexor muscles. There are many ways to do this, but today we're going to focus on one good exercise called a wrist curl. You're going to want to hold a dumbbell in your target hand. If you don't have access to a dumbbell, you can use a can of soup, a full water bottle, or a variety of similar objects. You'll want to be in a seated position with your elbow supported and your palm facing up. From this position, slowly flex your wrist against gravity, bringing it into a fully flexed position, holding for just a second, and then relax, bringing it back to a neutral position. The number of repetitions will depend on how much weight you use and how difficult you find each repetition, but a good target range is 8 to 12 reps. After your set, rest for 1 minute and then repeat this for 2 more sets. Repeat this entire process 3 times per week, and feel free to adjust your weight or your reps depending on how difficult you're finding it. Over time, this should get easier, and increasing your weight or your reps can help counterbalance this to help you keep making progress. So there you have it. Whether you've been suffering from tennis elbow for years, or you're just thinking about picking up something like pickleball and you want to avoid one of the most common pitfalls, you now have 3 great tools in your belt to prevent or treat tennis elbow. Give these a try and let us know in the comments below which you found the most helpful. If you do happen to try these and you notice your symptoms increase either during or immediately after any of these exercises, please stop and reach out to a local healthcare professional, or let us know in the comments below and we'll do our best to help you troubleshoot. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like or a comment, and be sure to subscribe for more content coming soon. We're going to be doing our best to release a new video every Sunday, and be sure to look out for a video on golfer's elbow next Sunday. Have a great week.